Josh Miles coming down with the flu turned into a life-changing experience. He was sick with a 106-degree fever.
That's right. His dad was so concerned that he took him to the ER. And on his way there, Josh's soul left his body. And he says he went straight to hell.
The torture is at a level that you really can't comprehend in the human mind. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty it's a hard thing for sure, especially if you're going to be there for eternity. It's so hot, and we're talking like thousands of degrees hot, and there's so much torment. Your body is not burned. Your skin is not burned. It's not getting eaten by heat or anything like that. It's just you feel so much heat and so much torment, but yet your body itself is not experiencing any effect of that. You're feeling so much pain and regret and paranoia and all of these different emotions at one time. I tell people, you imagine your worst day you could ever have. And it's multiplied tenfold, thousandfold when you're in hell. It's a place that I really, you should be scared of it.
Wow.
People think that God sent people to hell. We choose our own. God gave us a will for a reason. We choose our own path of life. And if you choose him, that's where you end up. If you choose another way, then hell's where you end up. It's not like God is like, hey, people go to hell. He wants us to go to heaven. He wants us to live with him. He wants us to be his bride. But we have to choose him. But there's millions of people in hell. Like it is millions upon millions. And everybody's standing on like shelves of rock, like molten rock. And everybody's screaming out and in turmoil. And it's crazy because you are in pain and turmoil yourself. This is true. But to see other people go through that kind of turmoil hurts even more, and you can remember the things that you did on this earth, secrets and things like that. And you actually have a hunger and a thirst for God himself because you didn't make it and you're just begging him to come get you, but you already know it's too late. And that makes it even more painful when you have a love for God. And sometimes we take advantage of that here and then you end up in hell. You don't have a choice anymore because you're there.
So why do you think the Lord took you down to hell and then also showed you heaven?
I think it was to give people perspective. Yes, heaven is a wonderful thing. That is true. But hell is also something to take serious. People, you can go to church every day and still go to hell. People have to understand that you have to really walk this life out.
Now, Josh, you say that death is not the worst thing that can happen to a person. Why do you say that?
Death is not the worst thing. The worst thing is where will you go when you die? I think people kind of misconstrued that. Like, don't be scared of death. Don't rush to it, obviously, but don't be scared of it. But it depends on where you're going when you die. Are you really walking out this life of God for real? I don't mean just going to church. I don't mean just feeding the poor. I don't mean just praying 8 hours a day. I'm talking about really walking this life out in every area that you can. So you have to realize that you don't have time. You don't have tomorrow. You don't have the next hour. You don't have the next minute. You have to really understand that I need to walk this out and have a heart for God right now. Because if you can't tell yourself, if I went and died right now, that I will be for sure going for heaven. If you're not completely sure about that, you have a really hard task and you really need to fix that. You really need to have a heart after God and really walk with him because you are not guaranteed your next moment. I'm 25 years old. That happened to me out of nowhere from the flu. I've had the flu so many times in my life. And that happened to just happen out of nowhere. And I'm only 25 years old.